Gezond en wel. Over leven in balans.
Dit is Argusoog Radio.
Hello dear listeners, this is John Consemulder, your host for tonight's show, Gezond and Wel at Argusoog Radio. And again, I'm talking, well at least I'm trying, in the best English I can, because we have an international guest, a very special guest, and his name is Michael Salla from exopolitics.org. And we'll be talking to him about a lot of important concepts regarding the extraterrestrial questions and the exopolitics related to the existence of extraterrestrials here on Earth. So that's quite a remarkable subject, we can say. But first, for the Dutch audience, and also for the international listeners, I would like to say there's an interesting conference, a retreat from the 8th until the 12th of April, organized by Purity Events. That is www.purityevents.nl. Master Shah is coming to the Netherlands, and I am proud to say that we have been invited to do a music concert, live music, live sound healing. My wife will be singing, dancing, and doing sacred choreography and Qi dances, because she's also a certified Qigong instructor. So that, of course, is a nice resonance with Master Shah's Dao and Tao's work. So purityevents.nl, dus voor de Nederlandse luisteraars. Master Shah komt naar Nederland, 8 tot 12 april, www.purityevents.nl. Daar vind je alles en wij zullen daar live muziek, zang en dans doen. And it's going to be very special 3-4 days. This night will also be very special and maybe even a very remarkable recording in history, because actually we have a very special guest. His name is Michael Salla, and I have here his new book, Exposing U.S. Government Policies on Extraterrestrial Life. And for the general listeners, Dr. Michael E. Salla is an internationally recognized scholar in international politics, conflict resolution, and U.S. foreign policy. He has held academic appointments at American University, Washington, D.C., 1996 to 2004, the Australian National University, 1994 to 96, and the George Washington University, Washington, D.C., 2002. He has a PhD in government from the University of Queensland, Australia, and he's the author-editor of an additional 5 books. Of course, also the Exopolitics book. And his website is www.exopolitics.org. He has been awarded financial grants from the United States Institute of Peace and the Ford Foundation for his international peacemaking initiative for East Timor. So, if you're online now, Michael, I would like to welcome you to the show and to tell you I'm very honored that you're live in this show. Good morning.
Good morning, good evening, John. I'm very happy to be here.
And like I said, I hope your coffee is real strong, because it's 8 o'clock in the evening here, but you are in Hawaii, the nice island, but it's 8 o'clock in the morning for you, am I right?
It sure is, and it's a beautiful day. The sun is just up in the sky, so it'll be a beautiful Hawaiian day.
So it's early, but at least we have to be jealous as well, because you have the sunlight and we have the evening by now. But anyway, let me tell the general listeners something about the book I'm holding in my hands now, the Exposing U.S. Government Policies on Extraterrestrial Life. The material in that book will come as a profound shock to many. I guess that might be true. That will be especially so for public policy professionals who have mistakenly believed that seniority, responsibility, and merit determine access to a country's most deeply hidden national security secrets. This book prepares the general public for the truth about extraterrestrial life and how select government agencies in the US and elsewhere have secretly implemented public policy over 6 decades. The hope is that exposing such information will inspire the general public to seek to participate in an informed way in future public debate over appropriate public policy on extraterrestrial life. Wow, now Michael, when I read this the first time, I thought, well, politics, how reliable is politics? And now this seems like a universal or multidimensional kind of politics. And the next question which came to mind is that, of course, the exopolitics terrain and the approach, so to speak, seems to me as if the proof that ETs are real and living on this planet is already there, and we just have to focus how to work with them for universal and cosmic peace. So how did that come about regarding your background as well?
Well, I became very interested in this set of issues in 2001 when I heard the Disclosure Project press conference at Washington, D.C. that was organized by Dr. Stephen Greer. He had about 21 witnesses go on stage and all present very briefly their experiences about a cover-up of the extraterrestrial UFO phenomenon. And when I heard that, it really changed my life, because I thought at the time that this was something that would revolutionize international politics, which at the time I was actually teaching politics at the School of International Service in Washington, D.C. So this had a really profound effect on me. And the more I studied it, the more convinced I became that this was something very real that couldn't be dismissed. And after 18 months, or approximately close to 2 years of studying this phenomenon privately, I then concluded that this was something that I wanted to do research on and write about. And so that's when I became committed to this field, new field of exopolitics.
Okay, well, maybe this is an historic, well, it could be a historic broadcast, because I just found some material you wrote, which I printed here. There are 2 articles, which of course you know yourself. One is, let's see, a source reveals secret UFO meetings at the UN, which is something you wrote on February the 12th of 2008. And the other thing, which seems to me like a continuing saga on this UFO and ET question, is something you wrote: the official disclosure of extraterrestrial life is imminent, and that even an official announcement by the Obama administration disclosing the reality of extraterrestrial life is imminent. Can you tell the general audience some more about this reality of extraterrestrial life and the official announcement by the Obama administration? Because maybe we are talking about it and tomorrow we have this worldwide news. That would be great, of course.
Yes, well, there is quite a process that is happening behind the scenes, and one of the things that I was very fortunate to learn about was that the United Nations in 2008 began to have secret discussions about the UFO phenomenon, and basically to try and coordinate international efforts in understanding what is happening with the increasing UFO sightings. Because I'm sure you and your listeners are aware that over the last 2 years or so, there has been really a kind of phenomenal rise in sightings of UFOs around the world. And this is not something that has escaped the attention of policymakers who internationally are trying to come up with ideas for how to deal with this rise in UFO sightings. And so a Navy officer, and this was very important, John, because this is very rare, that a serving Navy officer who still has his commission and is working for the United States Navy actually disclosed that these meetings were happening, and he said that he was given authorization to do so by a group of Navy admirals who were wanting to inform the public about what is happening on the extraterrestrial issue. So what that tells us is that there is very deep divisions within the official bureaucratic system in terms of how the ET UFO issue is handled, and that